First, she wasn't elected. Now Hillary's class gets rejected. True, even students on the left give Professor Clinton an F. Students in Hillary Clinton's new class says it sucks. Even more than an intern who... you know where this is going. But it's the smartest realization on campus since someone realized you could put vodka up your butt. Thanks, Shannon. Earlier this year, Bill's worser half accepted a professorship at Columbia teaching public affairs. Meanwhile, Bill did offer to tutor some of the female students, but Columbia has a no-cigar policy. The left praised Hillary for passing her wisdom on to the next generation on everything from fraudulent land deals to unflattering pantsuits. Meanwhile, students were promised empowering lessons by one of America's biggest losers. After all, who else can teach them how to delete emails and destroy evidence, while also learning how to destroy Libya? But turns out the class is just a bunch of ego-worshipping drivel in front of an audience, unlike her show on Apple TV, which was ego-worshipping drivel without an audience. One disappointed student described her first day as a swarm of several hundred people, a sea of cameras, Secret Service personnel. Sounds like every time Joe makes a boom boom. They're very happy when it happens. The student likened the experience to attending a late-night talk show, as opposed to an intimate college lecture, which isn't fair. Hillary's way funnier than Kimmel. But you know the class is bad when even left-wing students vocally trashed it, who then all mysteriously wound up dead. I guess hammers aren't just for smashing hard drives. But it's okay, she'll tell their families that it was suicide. Oh, boy. Wake up, people. All right, Kat.
Yep.
You almost went to Columbia.
Yep.
That's good enough for me.
I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't go.
What do you make of the fact that they were just these stupid kids are actually disappointed and shocked?
No. I read this whole article that this student wrote, and she is being ridiculous. She's saying she didn't do any office hours, and she didn't grade our papers. And regardless of what your title is, it's like, did you really think Hillary Clinton was going to read your papers? I bet you, people have a hard time getting her to read the books that they write for her and put her name on them.
Yeah.
Like, it's Hillary Clinton. You're being absolute. This student thought she was going to meet Hillary Clinton and they were going to gal pal around town in the class. That's right. But I did it when I was just an average garden variety food service employee, and because I was supposed to be at Columbia, but I couldn't afford it. I watched Red Eye, and I was like, if I could just meet that little man, he would love me, and then I could work for him. But I was right.
Yeah. I think
it very rarely happens.
Well, you were talking about Eric Shawn.
No, I'm talking about you, buddy. I'm talking about you. I was like, I'd be so good on this show. Just get me in the room with this guy, and you hired a weird food service fan.
That is true. That is true. You know, Tyrus, she should have been teaching something useful that she knew, like a class on stain removal.
Okay, that's not fair. We know that had she known how to do stain removal, they wouldn't have been in this in the first place. And that would have made Bill Clinton the stupidest president in the world to bring home another woman's stained dress.
Yeah, that's true.
And asked his wife to clean it.
I'm glad you dissected that joke.
Well, I just feel at some point someone has to say,
yeah.
okay, like he did the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. If you have any sense at all. Listen, that poor girl, apparently she missed the trailer that is the Hillary Clinton show. If you thought all of a sudden that she was going to be this warm, bubbly charisma, or as the kids say, rizma, that she has never been in the classroom. Like, hey, kids, I'm so glad to be here. I'm still bitter about my marriage and the fact that I lost to Donald Trump. But, hey, everything else is going swimmingly for me. All my shows have been canceled on Netflix. I had a charity foundation, and it's not around anymore. Bill's still going golfing on the weekends without his clubs. But, hey, other than that, let's get some learning done.
Yeah.
No. She's literally comes in there and says, hello, class. Which one of you whores is messaging my husband? I check his DMs, too. I know it's you. We'll wait. Class dismissed.
You know, Shannon, she discouraged students from asking questions. That's some teacher. Usually they want inquisitive students.
The Socratic method. I think everyone is being too hard on her because at least she showed up. Remember, President Biden has told us numerous times that he taught at Penn for 4 years. He did get $1 million, but the Philadelphia Inquirer does this thing like, he never actually taught classes there. He gave some lectures and some ticketed items and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, at least she came. And maybe not for all of the classes, maybe not office hours. I can't imagine that anybody actually thought she was going to be grading papers.
Exactly.
They're like, how dare teaching assistants grade our papers? I wanted to share my ideas with her.
They thought they were going to go to brunch, which that's on you.
Yeah.
Well, it's not happening.
Of course she showed up to class. She has nowhere else to go. How many times can she go to The View in 1 week?
Yeah. I wonder when she grades papers, if she just write, what difference does it make?
No.
Benghazi callback.
She writes, you'll shoot your eye out.
What do you think they took the class just so they could put it on their resume? It's like something that they could open a door for them. I took Hillary Clinton's class.
Yeah, but I think on their resume, too, it's like I worked for Hillary Clinton, right? Like, that's the way resumes are written nowadays. But the reason people are mad is because it was a public affairs class. They all got into the class thinking that they were going to pick and choose which was a public affair that Bill had or a private affair. But in actuality, she's here. And the class should have been the two things she's good at, right? Disappearing people and losing, right? So how do you be a good loser? How do you cover a crime? Yeah, that should be the class, because none of the people at Columbia are going to be leaders. They're all losers.
I think, you know, so when they said they had all these cameras there, this was content for another Hillary show. And so the students were actually working for her. They were tricked into being an audience, much like these people here. We told you this was a Hannity show.
No footballs for you.
Yeah. All right. Coming up, libs become unglued when Adam Carolla gets interviewed.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.